tree. I've been in about 15 minutes. It's 5:34 on September 26th. I decided to come to our lease tonight because, I don't know, the bucks just seem to be hitting the food plots. Shout out to Alex, he killed a nice 9-point the other night. I know a few guys who've killed some good bucks this week coming to food. So got the evening and got my wife's grandparents to watch the little boy. So we came on out, sitting over a 5-acre food plot here. Got about 2.5 acres in clover, 2.5 acres in turnips. And the turnips are beautiful, so is the clover. I mean, there's just a ton of food in this food plot. And I've had a cell cam in here, and there's been a lot of deer feeding in it. I fought with this tree forever. It's a real small tree, but it's got a lot of limbs, so it provides some good cover. And it's 5 acres, but it's kind of halfway down, and then it's halfway across too. So I can shoot, if a deer was to walk end to end, I could shoot him on either side of the tree. So it's a good setup. I barely had gotten the tree, and I hear a noise, or excuse me, don't even know why I said that. I barely had gotten the tree, and I was about to put my face mask and gloves on, and I look up, and there was a doe feeding at the end of the field. And then some acorns fell on top of the shooting house on that end, and it made a racket, and it spooked her. But it's a good sign to already see one. I don't think it'll be the last one I see, but there was a pretty big 3 or 4 year old 7-point in here. I think it was yesterday morning. He might be an 8, but he might just be a 7 with some other bucks. So fingers crossed. You never know. I've already got the year going. Killed a nice 8-point in Georgia a couple weeks ago. So fingers crossed. Let's get on a big one. Y'all check this field out. Tonight. I was out here 2 nights ago. Today's Thursday, September 28th. And I came on back tonight because I pulled a camera. I was at the southern end of this food plot. checked in a while. I replaced it with a cell cam. When I checked it, it was getting wore out by these two 8-points. And one of them, he's not a giant by any means, but here in the mountains of Tennessee, he's a stud, 200 plus pound 8-pointer, even though he's going to be a 115 incher. And so when I saw that, I was like, I got to get back in there. So you never know. We got a front blowing through, chance of rain after a while. So we're going to see deer. I don't know if he'll show up or not, but either way, if he does, that'll be great. Either way, I'll formally say welcome and introduce you guys to Huntin Camp, my new channel. Started filming everything and getting some content again last year, so got a couple awesome hunts to bring you guys, and I'm hoping to create one more tonight. My good buddy Jason Heathcote, he's out here tonight as well, hunting a different food plot. I let him know I got some bucks on camera in there too, so hopefully one of us draws blood. I won't be upset if it's him either, so, which we both agreed we're waiting on a good one. Even though there's a lot of 2-year-olds running around, we'll see. But man, I'm excited. It's like 70, gonna be mid 60s by dark. Pretty good weather for September, so we're gonna see some deer. Hopefully it's the right deer. Stick with us. I'll tell you something we're battling right now. These. There's thousands of them on the ground. It's honestly surprising the bucks are hitting the greens this hard, but this plot's about 5 acres. Right here on the bluff line, I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, there's a 60-foot drop right there falling off the side of the mountain. And thanks, spiders. This field kind of runs along the bluff. It's 5 acres. About 2.5 of it's planted in imperial whitetail clover. About the other 2.5 acres is planted in wintergreens. So just a mess of turnips, radishes, stuff like that. Usually after the first frost, a deer will smash the greens, but so far this year they're already smashing them. So hey, I don't mind whenever they want to hit them. Only problem is they destroyed a few of our plots this year, so oh well. Well, I was afraid of that. They beat us here. The deer did. Beat me here, I should say. There's at least 3. Ended up being 3 does, a fawn, and 6 longbeards. Hate to bump them. Didn't really bump the deer. One of them I did, but the other 3 just got done feeding and moved on, so gonna have to bump these longbeards though if I want to get in the tree. So I hate doing it. I hope they don't make a bunch of racket.
So what you don't see is going on right here is while I'm pulling my bow up, I happen to look up the field, and there's a pile of deer entering the field, including a very nice buck that you can see in the back right there. And here's a up close look of that. However, as I'll explain in a bit, the doe that's out there with him ends up spoiling the party because she could see my bow hanging. And then when she finally turned back around to look again, she couldn't see it anymore. So that ruined the party for that. I really felt like the whole bachelor group was going to come out right then.
hate we come in here. God, they're coming right at me. I better get off here. Bye. Deer everywhere. I think it's 12 different deer this evening. 3 bucks, 9 does. The mountains of Tennessee ain't so bad. Wore the wrong hat tonight. Well, I know one thing. If I don't see anything else, which I've probably got 20 minutes left, it has been an incredible evening. I think I've seen 14, which is actually my record when out in the mountains. They were just moving. If only that one doe wouldn't have blown out, run the buck off, the whole bachelor group of bucks probably would have showed up. So, and it wasn't a buck that I was wanting to shoot, but he was nice. I would just like to have filmed him. Let's see. I mean, pretty good deer. He's got a split brow. I was hoping this big old chested stud would come out. And this was just day before yesterday. Right down there. You never know. I got a few minutes, so. Either way, awesome evening.
So I pack up my cameras and I look up, and here comes this 200+ pound behemoth, and he comes right on in and stops just perfectly at 30 yards. I can't believe the cameras were down, and I had my GoPro on, but just didn't get it on in the heat of the moment. There's my glowing knock, and on the right side there you can see the buck running off. Again, there's the glowing.
Well, I just shot one. You can see my arrow back there. He came in right at dark. Looks like a pretty good buck, and I think I smoked him. Incredible evening. I wish I would have had my camera. I had already put my camera stuff up, but man, what an evening. So we'll see.
The trail camera actually caught me walking out to the arrow and then us pulling up to go trail.
Son, we done found him. And he is a brute.
Jason, he'd have got it all on.
No. 200 pound, at least a 4-year-old Brutus.
What about it?
Had one of my best evenings ever hunting these mountain bucks.
That's awesome, man.
Hang a lot off, guys.
Got old split ear on him. Sucker's been around the block. Whatever buck he is.
That's awesome, man. Well, you want to take some pictures?
Yep.
Picked a bad day to eat some turnips, didn't it?
I tell you, there wasn't even no slop left up here.
And it's clean.
It's clean.
Yep.
Makes you think it's been licked.
This is Buzz Bryson.
Yeah, it was definitely had to have been a bear. It couldn't have been a cow.
I tend to agree. I feel like that's a bear.
Yeah, when you saw what we saw there, yeah, I guarantee you.
It's small. It's a big line off. All right, back towards me. Wasn't where you hunted orange. All right, keep pushing him. Keep tilt his head.
Look at that thing. Man, that's a good deal.
Stan, come over here and look at it. Come over here and look
His
at
body is freaking gigantic, dude.
Get over there and look at it.
He's a
That's
mule.
a stud.
He's old.
Yeah. He's every bit. He's
Well, I mean,
minimum 4.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it too. Like everybody, like every man is different. You know, every 50-year-old man is different. Dude, some 5-6-year-old bucks, they just not as beefy as
So I had
others, man.
I could have killed this deer in velvet easily. He showed up every day, and I was getting pictures. I was like, he's weak, man. He's 100 inches.
That's because his body was too big.
Well, then I get this picture of him this week in the bluff.
Hey, it's all downhill from now.
Well, we got the boot for him.
Somebody stand back and hold a light.
Are we?
Just so that this can see what we're doing.
Good. Nah. He feels the whole thing in it. Good work, brother. Absolutely.
I'm having a good season, boys. It's September, and I done got me two.
Now, I want you to take that look. Saturday needs to
And that right there is what it's all about. It was awesome to shoot the buck. Don't get me wrong. It was an incredible evening. However, the camaraderie with family and friends is absolutely why we do it and why this channel is what it is. I just want to, this is the old school hunting camp that people don't even know anything about these days. It's the days of permission and hunting in people's backyards. So I want to bring a little different twist to this channel, and I appreciate everybody watching. And here you'll actually see some of the damage the bear did. And it was not unusual for us to see bears on our place, but we were able to see the sign there and be able to clearly tell that's what did it. And unfortunately, I'm not able to show y'all much of it just because YouTube doesn't like that. But there's a photo of a really nice one from last year. But you can see here, it was pretty rough and a very clean sight. That was what was interesting about it. We walk up to this buck and notice that his whole left side in a huge area, very large area, bigger than the size of his vitals, had been completely eaten, and it wasn't just pulled hide. It was bites taken from the hide and cleaned perfectly. There was no mess at all. No gut splatter. It wasn't even penetrated into the actual body cavity yet, just down to the ribs. And then right back at the rear as well, the hide had been removed and then gone inside the back hams and had eaten part of both back hams. And I couldn't help but notice a lot of tracks around that looked like they were just deep fingernails. And then that's when it dawned on myself and my dad there, Jason, and everyone, hey, this wasn't a coyote deal. I've only let this buck lay maybe an hour. And so we start looking, and sure enough, there's a pile of scat close by. And we look at the back ham, and sure enough, a jaw mark about that wide, where a black bear had actually found this buck, decided to take to use it as a meal, and had grabbed it by the ham and was dragging it around and broke the skin that way, which was pretty wild. I mean, we regularly have bears out there. It's definitely not uncommon, especially from July or June to maybe October. So we'll have bears out there, but yeah, so the bear actually got to him first, which is wild, but thank God we found him, and thank God it was only one side. I was able to get some great pictures, and it made for a definitely memorable evening. I'll share some photos later here in the video that show some of the damage the bear had done. However, I'll have to blur it, unfortunately. But if you guys want to see it, send me a message and I can actually send you the actual carnage photos. So, yeah. In closing, it definitely was a hunt to remember in the mountains of Tennessee. You just don't get them that often with big mature bucks, specifically during the archery season, because our archery season is so early. Here's the final product. Did a Euro mount. I actually picked up this Euro pedestal at the NWTF show, but it made a very nice looking Euro to add to the collection. If you made it this far, I do want to say thank you for watching. There's a lot more videos coming down the pipe, so please like and subscribe. There's going to be a ton of content coming, and I can't wait to bring y'all the next one. That was almost bad.
Brett.